Hi. In this video on retirement, I'm going to talk about something you possibly haven't thought about yourself if you are coming up for retirement or recently retired. And that is the subject of influence. I know it sounds a bit abstract, but when we're at work, when we have our working life, whether we're just the cleaner or the CEO, we have an influence on our environment to a certain degree. It could be a small circle of influence, or it could be huge, depending upon our status and our position at work. But when we leave work, that particular type of influence, whatever it might be, probably, if it's to do with our work, will be lost. We will leave it behind. And it'll hurt, because we all like to feel that we have meaningful lives, that we're having an effect in doing something, possibly something good, possibly something contributing something really worthwhile, because we have influence, because we are able to do it. And now it could be slipping away, or have already gone. So what can we do? We need to concentrate now on the circle of influence that we have as a retiree, or if we're coming up for retirement, what we expect to have. Now, if we have no plans for retirement at all, other than going on a bit of a holiday, and then when the holiday's over we say, well, what am I going to do now? We will start to suffer, I think, because this meaningful life, whether we've identified it with those words or not, is there. We like to think that our life has some meaning for ourselves and people around us. And that comes from our circle of influence. Now, we can only change things within our circle of influence. But we can make our circle of influence bigger so that we can change more things. So how can we do that? By working on ourselves. And this so-called circle of influence is the one that so often we don't work on ourselves. We read the newspapers, we watch the television, we have a bit of a nag about this and that and how the world's going to pot, and we don't do anything to change it because we feel we can't. And we can't, providing those changes are outside of our circle of influence. So how can we widen our circle of influence to do the things which will make us which will make us feel valuable, of significance, a contributor again? Find your niche. Find your niche. There'll be something that you're really good at, that you love doing, that you do for nothing, that perhaps is a hobby, something that you've laid aside perhaps even years ago. I think I told the story once of a brother-in-law of mine who had a friend who was a garbage collector. This was the day before they had the big plastic bins. These were just garbage tins left at the side of the road back in the old days. A truck would come along with garbage collectors who would tip the garbage into the back of the truck. This was what this man did for years. And then he retired. He remembered he used to like painting as a kid. So he took to it again. Within a few weeks, he was drawing and painting marvellous pictures. Within a few months, he was selling them. And a few months more after that, he had his own gallery. You see the point I'm making? I'm not saying you could be a great artist. Maybe you will be. A great musician. Or a great cabinet maker. Whatever it might be, there'll be something that you're really good at. And it'll be within your circle of influence, and it'll be something which will expand your circle of influence, bringing you more friends, more joy, and a happier retirement. So, don't be too upset about that changing circle as you leave it and move into another one. Fully develop yourself in the new one and expand on that. And see what happens with your life.